Okay, we're going to get back on the oil pump here. Sporty. So I got a few days of recovery from working this last time. Alright, so we got the pump more or less assembled. We're going to go ahead and use the bolts instead of the studs, which will make it a little bit easier for assembly. Not a major difference, but with this one it's slightly different. Now what I got to figure out is the breather timing, seeing how this shaft appears to be sticking out further than it should, for whatever reason. And also see how the bearing cage sticks out further also. So for whatever reason it's offset more. Yeah, you kind of see it in the rods too, don't you? I didn't think about looking at that before. Yeah, you can definitely see how the whole crank is offset over. That's why this thing's fighting me. Huh. Well, ain't that something special? So what would be causing that to be offset differently? Yeah. It makes me wonder if there's something assembled wrong someplace. Something is not correct. Bet you're going to have a problem with chain alignment. Because if this whole crank is shifted this way, then this whole chain is going to be shifted this way, which means we're going to have a problem on the primary. It's going to be a problem on misalignment on chain front to back, the sprockets. You can see the gap in here too, from here to here. Everything is showing that we're being offset too far. See the rods over. So what is made wrong? See, that makes me want to stop and find out what's going on here before I get too involved. Yeah, fun. I don't know. So, I gotta check the breather timing. That's what I was gonna go look at things. So basically, you gotta put this thing on a timing mark, which is right there. You gotta kind of hold that about in that spot too. So one quick way of identifying it is to hold it and look at some mark that looks familiar. Okay, so that little thing right there lines up right with this mark here. Goes right there even. And that means our timing mark over here is where it belongs. So other ways you can mark it with a felt tip, so you know where that is. See, the R is not quite in the center here. But that's a pretty good indicator. Alright, because when this shaft's over, it's going to affect the breather timing. So the breather timing is... We didn't need that gear, did we? Nope. It tried to get away. There it is. Spit on there. Get a little fungi in there. Little virus. Okay, so when this goes up in there, you want this hole to line up with that groove. And this is going to rotate as it goes up. So when you hit that worm gear, it's going to rotate. So you got to line the gears up. Okay, it's going to rotate the other direction. And what I was worried about was it binding on the teeth. In this case, it looks like we're going to have other issues. Where's the hole at? Okay, so we put the hole over there. As it goes up, it should rotate where I want it to be. Maybe, when I get the crank off. Alright, I need two. Excuse me. I need two hands for this. Okay, because this has to be held over here. You can jam a screwdriver in a hole a little bit to help hold that. You don't jam it in too hard, it should stay pretty good. Yep, except this time it doesn't want to. Right there it goes. Alright. We'll go up all the way. Well, the pump's not going up all the way. Dowel pin sticking up right there, keeping us from going all together. One more thing bothering me. So I'm going to have to do something about that now. Yep. There's always something screwing with you. Alright. A little bit better. So this one's half a tooth off, so which is always a problem. So when you shove this all the way up, see how the hole does not line up? Be this hole right above my finger there. That hole right there does not line up in that groove very well, which is not uncommon. It's usually half a tooth off one way or the other, so you can either run it advanced or retarded on the timing. Now the way you change that is by grinding this tooth right, this gear back, which will let this gear come out further, which will change the timing. That's what you normally would do. So this one's half a tooth off, so it means you got to do some playing. But at this point, I got major issues to deal with. Why is this case offset so far? I've been fighting this for a while now, being off. And this is just, now that I just see that the whole crank assembly is off quite a bit, what do you do to fix it? Find out what the problem is the first thing you gotta do. That means you gotta take the whole motor back apart again. That'll be fun. Otherwise, I mock it up and see if the chain lines up over here. In which case we can run it the way it is, because I already got the pinion shaft got clearanced. The bushing over here got cut out for clearance right there, so I already fixed that problem. So we already dealt with all the other issues. It's just now, is this chain line going to be way the hell off or not? So, my guess is it's going to be way the hell off. I don't see any reason it wouldn't be. Let me get too easy. Alright, let me go dig out some stuff. I need some primary parts. We'll be back. Okay, I got the primary dry stuff out. I was told I wasn't supposed to make stupid comments about the customers around here, but when somebody comes all over the outside of your basket here, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Feels like some kind of a Permatex type sealer. I don't know how good that's going to work for sealing up rivets, but oh well. The other issue is I got this darn grease in here that reminds me of a lithium grease or lubriplate where it gets hard and crappy real quick. Because this stuff's old, it's hard and crappy. So, not sure about quality of that. Some dumbass, probably me, back cut the teeth here so the kicker will work better. On the new gear too. So, gotta watch out for the types around here. So I'm trying to get all that junk out of the darn gears in here. It's some kind of a, like I said, some kind of white crap. On the thread in here, it's got, I don't know what the hell this stuff is. I gotta flake it off, it's so hard. So that's what all that is. So they put a brand new 21-2 sprocket on here. I don't know why anybody wants to go slow, but it is a nice USA sprocket, that's good. PBI. I thought they only had silver ones. Here's a black one. So, should at least put a 22 on the bike so you can drive above 55. Oh well, chain looks good. I never will use stainless hardware in any motor in my life because I don't like using grade butter bolts that expand with heat. Which means you can't torque them, and the little crappy torque you do put on them, they stretch and grow and get loose. So never use stainless bolting in matters. I don't care what anybody else says. So this is all this stuff. So, alright, so there's some of this junk. So, I grabbed my interruption. We're back. Okay, we're back. Okay, let's see how good this Taiwan Teddy stuff is here. That's what all this nice black parts are. Top of the line components throughout. Let's see if they heat treated this part. A little bit. Good. That's a plus. It's not soft as hell. That's always a good thing. Yeah. See all that white grease on everything around here? Or whatever this crap is. I'm not sure what it is. So it's something. See how it flakes off when you tighten the nut? I don't know if you can see it falling out, but it's making a mess on my floor, whatever that stuff is. So just use a nut to get it off. It goes on all the way now. Good. So we just blow off the excess. Alright, one more piece ready to go. Stupid bolts here are supposed to hold this on. These little thin ass washers ain't gonna do anything either. So if you torque them too much, you'll strip those threads out. So we're gonna put a stronger washer on here because these little thin ones are just gonna buckle under. And we'll get some real bolts. And we'll start with something a little bit longer. And this thing here is made out of some real tissue paper thickness material, so I'm sure it's going to bend and just fall off. This is a little bit loose on here also. Hear it moving? So this has to be re-crimped on tighter so it stays tight. I'll rip this off too. So yeah, these quality Taiwan parts. The other problem is this is going to bend right here where they bend it. So if you put any tension on this, it's going to fold over like that and get loose. And it's going to eat up the shoe on the one side. On the factory ones, they actually put a piece of angle iron across in here to reinforce it, weld it in, doubles it up, so it'll stop some of the bending. Not all of it, but some of it. So they use a lot thicker material and they're heat treated. I'm sure this is none of that above. So this is going to be a problem. Nice Taiwan teddy parts. Always problems. Okay, so let's get rid of some of these parts I'm not going to use. This is a new style nut with a seal in it, so it's all one piece. Seal goes on the inside. On the old ones they had a cap that went over this. Looks like it's got some goo inside the threads in here too. Yeah, whatever it is, it doesn't want to come out, so we'll see how that works on the main shaft. Just happen to have one of those over here. See if it goes on. Went on that far. Yes, I put this over here so any junk will go to the ground and not inside my gears. That already cleaned. Alright, looks like that'll pass the test. More stuff, more parts. These are your 4 different push rods you use. So I had to find a little short one I was missing. Finally found it buried in the box. Okay, so this lock has been used. That's new again. That's the clicker. See how this fits. Seems to be all right. See if this fits the clutch gear. No, it does not. So that does not work. Yeah, too much crap on the workbench. So the problem with these aftermarket parts is they're made wrong. So this is your clutch gear. This is an early clutch gear. Early clutch gears do not have to step up in size right where my finger is. They go about a ½ inch and they step up and they get bigger all the way down. That's a late clutch gear. That'd be called 71 and later. That's what these are made to fit onto. The problem is we have an early clutch gear. So see the clearance in it? So you get about 10th gap as I recall. And when you have that gap on there, what happens is it allows this thing to rock back and forth. See how it rocks back and forth? Well, that means that this thing here basically has a worn out bushing on it when it's brand new. So see how much that gear moves around now? So when it moves around this much, it has the problem of dragging inside your clutch gear, or your kicker gear in here. And these teeth will start walking in here. Instead of being a gap, coming out with a gap where they don't hit, they'll start walking in there like that and they'll grab a hold of these teeth and start eating on them. Plus, when you go to kick it, it doesn't engage squarely and it flips off and hyperextends your knee right here and makes it hurt for about 6 months at a time. Not that I've ever done that in my life. So back cutting, the gear cut here will make it work a lot better, but when this thing comes in at an angle and just catches on one tooth and pops off, it doesn't work very well. So this is made wrong. I don't know if anybody's making these correctly right now. And when you tell them they're all screwed up, they say, we don't care, we sell lots of them. Yeah, it's because they're always junk. So what I do is I take shim stock and I put shim stock in there to tighten up the gap so it's not so loose. Pain in the ass to do, but oh well. What a shocker. Let's see, we're going to need this piece here. That needs to be over there. Okay, so I'm going to put the transmission in here so I can put the clutch on here, and then I got to put the sprocket on here, and we got to check the chain line here going across and see if the sprockets line up. It's called a chain line because there's a chain that goes along it. It's called this thing a chain. So chains do not like being offset. See, they don't have this much clearance this way. They're not supposed to be in an S, and they don't like running like an S. They want to be run straight. So chain line means it goes straight. So we want to make sure this goes straight. Usually they're off a little bit. You can be a little bit off, but it'd be nice to be close, at least in the neighborhood. I have my doubts about where the neighborhood is right now. Okay, it appears like I have every damn tool in the world in my way right now. Probably because I was going to work on an oil pump. It's not looking like I'm going to be working on an oil pump today. My guess is this motor's coming apart again. And probably the whole flywheel assembly too. Otherwise, no, we're going to have fun. Put your tools away every now and then. Things are out of the way. Look at that. Kind of need these parts here. Okay. There we go. Got a workbench again. Look at that.